2001, the Irish government joined with IBEC in a bid to bring the Irish music industry to its full potential. They wanted to improve infrastructure, upgrade facilities and promote music from Ireland both nationally and internationally. They created the Music Board of Ireland. In 2004, the Music Board disbanded. During its 3 years in operation, it did not achieve any of its objectives.
The idea of it was great. The idea that a board should overlook the infrastructural build of an industry, I thought was fantastic.
I think the idea of a music board is excellent. I think we really need somebody, some organisation to look at music on a national level and to, on the broadest possible sense.
John Donoghue, the Minister of Arts, Sports and Tourism, made the decision to discontinue the Music Board.
We got together like through friends. There's 3 brothers in the band, like myself, Daniel and another brother.
One thing I've always found is that if we ever played in London or England and stuff like that, like art and music over there is encouraged a lot more so in Europe as well. It has that extra little bit of push to support like creativity and stuff like that. It doesn't really seem to be that way over here. If you want to do something, you have to do it yourself, especially in Dublin. Like, no one's going to help you, you know what I mean?
There's definitely a complete lack of understanding of what it's like to, be a musician.
Initially, there's not a whole lot of help out there, really. So you kind of have to, I guess, take the initiative and do as much as you can yourself, really.
Like, why isn't there something that's set up that, stops people making the first 100 easy mistakes that everyone makes? Why isn't there someone like that? Very easy to do that, and then people will be able to get to a better level. If we ran an exhibition of our artwork or something, we could get a grant for that. But we couldn't get it to run a gig or to run an album launch.
I think this is bringing that musician style that France have.
They should help in the arts, as in, if somebody wants to go to New York to record and they're in a band that haven't got a record deal or whatever, they should be able to get grants. As in, if somebody is studying to be a scientist, they get a grant to buy, test tubes or whatever. It's the same thing. That's something that the government just doesn't pick up on. They don't see that art or being a musician is just as important as being a doctor, or do you know what I mean?
My work as a musician is as important to society as a doctor in a hospital is, and that goes for all the musicians. We're as important to the fabric of society as anybody is.
There are as many kids with guitars as there are with hurleys, or whatever. So, and we're investing in sport, and we're investing in, I'd love the Irish popular music industry to have as much money as the GAA have. That'd be great.
The government needs to do for us what they do for artists. It seems that the Arts Council are just out for the painters and that type of artists, but there needs to be something there for the musicians as well.
There's so much talent in this country that it's a huge export just waiting to be, oiled,
There will be a knockback in the whole tourism industry and all the rest of it as well. There's a lot of other ways where we'll kick back.
There's a lot of money to be made from Irish bands. There's some really good ones out there.
Louis Walsh demonstrates, yeah.
The country would benefit enormously from having this kind of support from a government level. It would benefit in terms of balance of payments, money coming into the country. It would benefit in terms of tourism. It would benefit in terms of a cultural infrastructure.
It's not even just artistic sense and, do it because we think the bands are great. It makes economic sense to invest in people who are being creative in your country, because it is not migratory. Irish musicians will always be Irish, and you can't put a price on what that does for a country.
We've known kind of a few bands who've had to leave kind of Ireland and are going over to the UK. Some bands just get so frustrated that it's kind of just a last ditch thing. And obviously you're going into a far bigger pond there.
We go straight to the UK. We don't really use the Irish system. Just go over to the UK, get it set up there, and then move back. You can do the equal amount of work in the UK, and I think you get more return for the amount of effort you put.
Money could be put into. Could we put into rehearsal spaces? Because how many bands are in Dublin? You know what I mean? And they're all trying to get rehearsal space in them when it's booked out by 6 or 7 bands who book it for a month. You know what I mean? And so there should be other places that are allocated for bands to come and rehearse.
In Cork, they need to give us some practice rooms.
That's a new thing.
In Cork, there are no practice rooms. Absolutely nothing.
So if you want to go and rehearse in a studio, it could cost, and you no equipment, so you got to hire your equipment. So I don't know, maybe it's €70 every time you go. If the rehearsal studios are put in there, proper rehearsal studio, put in with the government, and subsidised, so it does actually only cost them a tenner.
It's 50 is the basic rate. You get room with a PA, and if you're looking for backline, then it's 70. There is still a good few bands that I know, and I'd be kind of wondering where do they rehearse. Because I know there is a good few places around, but I know there's a lot of places that are really kind of gammy and the equipment is bad. And
that's actually been really annoying me for a long time. There is no places to rehearse with. Even like you were from Malahide, and there's no facility there. And how many fucking bands though?
There should be stuff for kids that want to get into music.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Stuff for kids who want to get into football or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Rock music, or whatever you want to call it, different types of music, bands, whatever, the way it's perceived in relation to the rest of the arts in Ireland is very poorly. It's barely even considered an art by the Arts Council, in that the Arts Council fund all these other things pretty generously, but there's absolutely nothing there for bands, you know what I mean, or kind of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, amateur music, you know what I mean. It's not even on the ladder, it's not even on the scale.